Welcome to this deep dive, looking at something really fascinating today based on the great stuff you shared with us about financial success. We all hear about the big, bold moves, right? Building fortunes. But what if getting rich uses totally different skills than, staying rich?
Exactly. That's what we're digging into. It's this profound difference, drawing a lot from Morgan Housel's work. And the number one skill, it might just be survival.
Yeah, survival sounds almost too simple. But
Hmm.
we're going to unpack this pretty counterintuitive idea about playing defense with your money. So where do we see this play out? Let's kick off with a real legend, Jesse Livermore. They called him the boy plunger.
Right. Late 1800s, pioneer, day trader, genius level stuff.
So good they banned him from bucket shops. And get this, he made, what, $100 million in the 1929 crash? Billions today.
I mean, that's the absolute peak of the getting wealthy style. Aggressive, risk on, just pure offense.
But yet, and this is the kicker, by 1940, he's broke. Died by suicide. How does someone that good at making money end up so bad at keeping it?
Well, that's Housel's core point, isn't it? Getting money and keeping money are like polar opposites skill-wise. Getting it takes the risk, the optimism, being aggressive. Keeping it, that needs humility, frugality, even a healthy dose of paranoia. It's defense.
Defense. And survival being the ultimate secret. I love that line, good investing is about consistently not screwing up.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because compounding, the real magic, it just needs time. Anything that knocks you out of the game early,
Yeah.
that's the screw up. You got to survive.
Okay, so contrast Livermore with, say, Warren Buffett. We always talk about his genius picks.
Yeah, but Housel argues his real secret isn't just brains, it's time. Staying in the game.
Right, like 95% of his wealth came after he turned 65. That's incredible.
And that longevity, it comes from surviving, what, 14 recessions?
Yeah.
Avoiding dumb debt, never risking his reputation so he could stay in the game. His rules, like never lose money, they're all about defense, preventing that catastrophic loss.
Which brings us to that key concept, the margin of safety. Ben Graham's idea, right?
Exactly. It's the buffer, the cushion, room for error.
I like Buffett's bridge analogy. Build it for 30,000 pounds.
But only drive 10,000-pound trucks over it. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's about admitting you don't know the future. You manage your ignorance.
Unlike long-term capital management Nobel Prize winners.
Thought they knew it all. Zero margin of safety. And boom, one unexpected event, and they were gone.
So how does this margin of safety apply to, us, to you listening? Well, think about your emergency fund. It's not just for bills. It's what does Housel call it? A forced sale prevention fund.
Yeah, stops you having to sell your investments when the market tanks, and maybe you lose your job. Keeps you in the game.
And your savings rate, that's basically your personal margin of safety right there. It gives you flexibility.
Definitely. And avoiding leverage, avoiding debt. Debt just eats your margin of safety, turns small bumps into potential ruin.
It connects to that barbell personality idea, doesn't it?
It does. You're optimistic long-term, totally believe things will grow. But short-term, you're paranoid. You protect the downside like crazy.
Because that paranoia keeps you alive long enough for the optimism to actually pay off.
Exactly. Survival first.
And when there's no margin of safety, we see ruin. Take the Vanderbilts.
Oh, yeah. Huge fortune, $100 billion equivalent, back in 1877.
Gone. By 1973, basically nothing left for the descendants. Spending, no diversification, just no defense.
Or Lehman Brothers in 2008, leveraged 30-1, tiny drop in asset value.
Wiped out, zero buffer.
And the core problem, really, it was the same for both.
Yeah, they confused the symbols of wealth, the mansions, the huge balance sheet with actual wealth, with resilience, fragile illusions. So, okay, wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for you listening?
It's really about focusing on building your personal margin of safety, consciously.
Right. So first, actionable idea. Look at your emergency fund. Is it really big enough to stop you being forced to sell things at the worst possible time? Think forced sale prevention. And second, for any big financial move, try pre-mortem. Imagine it fails spectacularly in a year. Why did it fail?
Yeah, list the reasons. Then figure out, okay, what can I do now to guard against those specific risks? What's my plan B?
That planning for failure, that constructive paranoia.
That's the heart of staying wealthy. It really is.
So remember, good investing isn't necessarily about those few brilliant moves. It's mostly about consistently not screwing up. Always leave room for error. Okay, picture this. You're out, maybe walking down the street, and this amazing car, like a Ferrari or something, just glides past.
Yeah.
That perfect engine sound, the sleek look. What's the very first thing that pops into your head?
Well, for me, it's usually, wow, what a car. You know, maybe I imagine driving it for a second.
Exactly. But do you ever, like, really stop and think, gee, the person driving that car must be incredibly cool, a really respectable person?
Huh, probably not. And that right there,
Yeah.
that's the core of what Morgan Housel calls the man of the car paradox. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
We buy this, expensive stuff hoping people will admire us, but they're mostly just thinking about the stuff itself or how they'd feel owning it.
Totally. Hassel nails it when he says, you don't think, wow, that driver's cool. You think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I'm cool.
Right. And that shows this big disconnect. We're trying to buy respect or connection, sort of social needs with material things.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We want to unpack why we do that, chase admiration with things.
And get clear on the difference Halsey makes between being rich and being wealthy.
Uh-huh.
They're not the same thing.
Definitely not. And figure out what actually earns respect and builds that invisible wealth he talks about.
Okay, so if buying flashy things doesn't really get us the admiration we crave, why are we so drawn to it? There's some real psychology going on.
Yeah, it's deep, right? Like, getting that luxury item gives you a little temporary buzz, a self-esteem hit.
Mm-hmm. Or it feels like a reward, for working hard. And there's the whole allure of exclusivity, that feeling of this is special.
Plus the whole price equals quality thing. Our brains are literally wired to respond to these reward cues.
But Housel cuts through that. He basically says, look, you think you want the fancy car or the watch or whatever,
Yeah.
but what you're really after is respect, admiration, and the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
It almost never actually delivers that.
And that creates this weird loop, doesn't it? What you call the admiration-aspiration loop.
Exactly. So person A buys the thing hoping for admiration.
Right.
Person B sees it, but instead of admiring person A, they just think, wow, I want that. If I had it, people would think I was cool.
So person B now wants the thing for themselves. It just feeds this cycle. It's the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing, basically a hamster wheel.
A treadmill, yeah. So it makes you ask, well, what does earn genuine respect then?
And House has a great line on this. He says, humility, kindness, and empathy will bring you more respect than horsepower ever will.
That's powerful. Think about who you truly admire. Is it really about their possessions? Or is it their character, how they treat people?
It's usually the character, isn't it? Which leads us to this really important distinction Hossel makes, being rich versus being wealthy.
Ah, yes, crucial difference. He argues they're almost opposites in a way.
How so?
Well, being rich is the visible part. It's the high income, sure. But it's mainly the money you spend so people see it.
Like the expensive car.
Exactly. Someone driving a $100,000 car. All we know for sure is they have $100,000 less money or $100,000 more debt than before they bought it. It's kind of a performance.
Okay, so that's rich. What's wealthy then?
Wealth is the opposite. It's the money you don't spend. It's unseen. It's the assets quietly growing, compounding in the background, hidden away.
Oh, so it's what's not visible.
Precisely. Housel says wealth is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought. Wealth is financial assets, not yet converted into the stuff you see.
Wow. So wealth isn't about showing off. It's about what? Security, freedom.
Exactly. Options. Control over your time. That's the real value. Every dollar you save isn't just a dollar. It's buying a little piece of future freedom.
This sounds like that whole stealth wealth idea you hear about sometimes.
It's very much related. Prioritizing substance, discretion over just flashing logos.
Okay, so if wealth is unseen, how do you build more of it? Is it just about earning more?
Not necessarily. Housel has this amazing little formula. Savings is the gap between your ego and your income.
Whoa. Okay, say more about that. Ego and income.
Yeah. Think about it. He argues that lowering your ego, your need to spend to impress, can actually boost your savings more effectively than just earning a higher salary.
Really? How does that work?
Well, imagine someone earning, say, $200,000 a year, but their ego drives them to spend loads. Maybe they only save 5%.
Okay.
Now compare that to someone earning $80,000, but they're more humble, less driven by status spending, and they manage to save 20%.
The $80 K earner is actually saving more money in total.
Exactly. Humility becomes a powerful financial tool and the ultimate payoff for building this wealth.
It's not just a bigger bank balance.
Nope. It's control over your own time. That, Housel argues, is the highest dividend money pays, the real luxury.
That really reframes things. Okay, so let's make this practical. What can people listening do, like, this week?
We've got 2 quick actions for you. First one, let's call it the admiration test. Before you make a big non-essential purchase, pause and ask yourself honestly, Am I buying this mostly for my own enjoyment, or am I kind of hoping it'll make other people think I'm cool or successful?
Good question.
Imagine nobody would ever see you with it. Would you still want it just as much? If yes, great. If not, well, you've just caught the paradox in action in your own thinking.
That's a useful check. What's the second action?
Second, invest in invisible wealth this week. Use a little bit of money specifically to buy back your time or reduce hassle.
Give me some examples.
Maybe get groceries delivered instead of spending an hour at the store. Pay for a cleaner for just one session. Take a ride share instead of dealing with crowded transit. Even just buying pre-chopped veggies counts.
So using money to make your life easier, not to impress anyone else.
Exactly. Feel what it's like to use money for your own genuine well-being and freedom, not for show.
Got it. So, wrapping up, so this whole man in the car paradox is a powerful reminder, isn't it?
It really is. That respect we want, it can't really be bought with stuff. It's earned, through who you are.
Through kindness, humility, empathy, like you said.
Yeah. And the most valuable kind of wealth, the kind that gives you real freedom and options, is often the wealth that nobody sees.
It leads to a final thought to chew on. Maybe the best way to measure your financial success isn't by looking at all the things you own. Maybe it's about how much control you have over your future, how many options you have, and how authentically you're living according to your own values without feeling that constant pressure to impress everyone else.
Welcome to this deep dive. We're tackling a really fascinating question today. What is money really for? I mean, beyond the obvious stuff. Houses, cars. What's its most valuable purpose? Today, we're diving into this idea that spending money to buy time might just be the ultimate luxury. Morgan Housel puts it so well. He says, money's greatest intrinsic value is its ability to give you control over your time. He even calls this the highest dividend money pays, which really makes you think. And this leads to his critical distinction, between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is often visible, right? The fancy car, the designer watch. But Howells warns, spending just to show off, that's actually the quickest way to have less money. Wealth, on the other hand, it's invisible. It's the income you don't spend, financial assets quietly growing. So a rich person might turn money into things, but a wealthy person, they turn it into time, into options. And Housel argues the ultimate goal here is independence, real independence, having the power to actually shape your own life, doing work you like, with people you like, when you want, for as long as you want, basically waking up and being able to genuinely say, I can do whatever I want today.
Yeah, and what Housel calls control, psychologists have a term for that, autonomy. It's seen as a really fundamental human need. It's core to our well-being. And the research backs this up pretty strongly. There was a landmark study by Angus Campbell, for instance. It found that having a strong sense of controlling one's life was actually a more dependable predictor of happiness than, say, your salary or even how prestigious your job was. And that wasn't just a one-off finding. It's been replicated, I think, across something like 15 different cultures. So it seems pretty universal.
That's fascinating. So if autonomy, this control, is so key to happiness, how does money buy it? I know researchers talk about time poverty, that feeling of being constantly stressed, rushed.
And it's linked to genuinely negative outcomes. Lower well-being, more anxiety, depression, even physical things like obesity.
Right. And the flip side is time affluence, feeling like you have enough time for what matters.
Exactly. And time affluence turns out to be a better predictor of well-being than just having more material wealth.
Okay, so is there solid proof that spending money on time actually works?
Oh, absolutely. There's some definitive evidence from a big study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Willens, Dunn, and others led it. They surveyed over 6,000 people in the U.S., Canada, Denmark, the Netherlands, a wide range. And they found people who spent money on time-saving purchases, think hiring a cleaner, getting grocery delivery, paying for yard work, reported significantly greater life satisfaction. And this held true across all income levels, which is important.
Wow, across all incomes.
Yes. And they didn't stop there. They did this brilliant experiment. They gave participants $40. Some were told to spend it on a time-saving purchase, like ordering takeout instead of cooking. Others were told to buy a material good. The results. Those who bought time reported being significantly happier, in a better mood, and felt less time pressure compared to those who bought an item.
So that's causal evidence. Buying time causes increased happiness.
Pretty much, yeah. It directly links the act of buying time to an improved well-being.
Okay, but here's the paradox, right? Many people, as their incomes rise, actually feel more rushed, not less. Why is that?
It's a real thing. As your income goes up, the opportunity cost of your time also increases. Every hour becomes, in a sense, more valuable in monetary terms. So, ironically, time can feel scarcer even when you have more money.
Meaning you have to be really intentional about it.
Exactly. You have to actively, consciously choose to convert that money back into time. It doesn't just happen automatically.
Which brings up the question, why do we so often chase material goods instead, if buying time works better?
Well, several reasons. That pursuit of stuff is often linked to lower well-being, more anxiety, more depression in the long run. Plus, there's the hedonic treadmill. The excitement from a new purchase fades really quickly, and then you feel you need the next thing. It's a cycle.
And Housel's man of the car paradox.
Right. His point that nobody is as impressed with your possessions as you are. We overestimate how much others notice or care about our stuff. I like to think of buying time as creating a buffer.
A buffer. House.
Like a shock absorber for your life. It cushions you against daily stresses and demands. It helps prevent burnout. It's really a kind of strategic self-preservation, almost like preventative mental health care, you could say.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Okay, let's get practical. How can people actually become savvy investors in their own time? Can we look at some concrete examples, like an investment menu for buying time?
Sure, let's think about different budget levels. Say, low budget, maybe under $50 a month. You could look at grocery delivery. That might save you, 1-2 hours a week? Or maybe some task automation software for repetitive computer stuff. That could reclaim 30-60 minutes a day.
Okay, good examples. What about a medium budget, say $50 to $300 a month?
All right. Maybe biweekly house cleaning. That could easily free up 4 to 6 hours a month. Or professional tax preparation that saves maybe 5-10 hours a year, plus a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm. And for a high budget, or maybe a major decision? Well, think about housing. Choosing a home specifically for a shorter commute, saving 30-60 minutes every single day adds up massively. Or, less tangible but hugely impactful, building a solid 6-month emergency fund. That buys incredible peace of mind, which is a form of time freedom.
These are great practical ideas, but what about the mental side? You mentioned people feeling guilty.
Right, the psychological hurdles.
Yeah, there's definitely that guilt factor. People feel like they should do it all themselves, that outsourcing is lazy, reframing it is key. See these as strategic wellness expenses, like joining a gym, not as moral failings.
That makes sense. What else?
There's also the control fallacy, the belief that only you can do a task perfectly. Letting go of that perfectionism is crucial. Often, good enough done by someone else is far better for your overall well-being than perfect done by you when you're stressed and rushed.
So accepting good enough can buy you time and reduce stress.
Precisely.
Okay, so maybe a starting point for listeners is creating a time budget. Yeah, figuring out where your time actually goes, identifying your big rocks, the really important uses of your time, versus the sand and gravel, those tedious tasks you could potentially outsource.
That's a smart approach. Awareness first.
Okay, let's wrap this up. The big takeaway seems to be the ultimate luxury money can buy isn't more stuff, it's a life where you are in control of your time, not your obligations. And it's not just a nice idea. It seems to be a scientifically validated path to a happier, less stressful life.
Absolutely. The evidence points that way.
So let's leave you, our listeners, with 2 actionable challenges. Challenge number 1, identify a time drain. Pick one recurring activity you really dislike doing. Then, just research the cost to outsource it. Don't commit yet. Just find out the price of your potential freedom. Knowledge is the first step. Challenge number 2, quantify your time's value. Roughly estimate your hourly income or what an hour of your free time feels worth to you. Then, the next time you face a choice, maybe paying $10 for delivery versus spending 45 minutes driving to pick something up, ask yourself, is 45 minutes of my life worth more or less than $10? Try reframing that convenience cost as an investment in your most valuable non-renewable asset, your time.
That reframing can be really powerful.
And we'll close with that thought from Morgan Housel again. Using your money to buy time and options has a lifestyle benefit few luxury goods can compete with. Something to really consider. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really going to try and unravel what financial success truly means. We're looking at some great sources, especially insights from Morgan Housel, and exploring that, that choice between financial bragging and real financial freedom.
Yeah, it's that whole looking rich versus actually being wealthy thing.
Right.
They seem similar, but the paths are just completely different, aren't they?
Totally different. And figuring this out, it can really transform your financial life. So maybe let's start with a couple of stories. Really contrasting ones. Okay, first, there's this guy, let's call him Richard, high-flying executive, makes great money. You see him, he's got the expensive car, the big house, looks like he's made it.
The picture of success, right?
Exactly. But then you look closer, he's working like 70 hours a week. He's got a lot of debt, hardly any savings, and basically zero control over his own time.
Right. So he's kind of trapped by that lifestyle.
Completely trapped, a prisoner to it.
And then you compare that to someone like Ronald. This is an amazing story. He was a janitor, gas station attendant, lived super simply. No one thought he had any money, but he just quietly saved and invested year after year, decades. When he died, turns out he left over $8 million to charity.
Wow. $8 million.
$8 million. A fortune nobody saw coming. So it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who would you rather be?
That leads us perfectly into Morgan Housel's definitions, which are, well, kind of counterintuitive sometimes. He says richness is mostly about current income. It's the spending you can see.
Right.
Like that fancy $100,000 car.
Yeah.
Housel basically says, well, that person just made themselves $100 poorer.
Poorer in options, yeah.
Right.
Not just cash, it's money spent now.
Exactly. Wow. Wealth.
It's different. Completely different. Wealth is hidden. It's the income you don't spend. It's the surplus, the assets piling up quietly, savings, investments, stuff nobody sees.
Yeah.
Housel calls it an option not yet taken to buy something later.
Yeah.
I love that description.
Me too. But society judges by the visible stuff, right? So we admire the spenders.
We do. We misjudge wealth all the time because it's invisible.
And that ties into this idea Housel calls the man in the car paradox. You see a cool car, you admire the car, but you think, wow, if I had that car, people would admire me. So you buy the car.
Thinking you're buying admiration, but you're actually just depleting your wealth. It's a cycle.
A real trap.
And it's tied so closely to lifestyle creep, that thing where, your spending just automatically rises with your income.
Oh, yeah. That happens easily.
Super easily. And Hal says the hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving.
That's powerful. We keep comparing ourselves, wanting more.
Exactly. Social comparison drives so much of it, turning income into debt just to kind of keep up appearances. Savings, Housel says, is the gap between your ego and your income.
That's a good one. Cuts right to it.
It does. And it points to the real goal, which isn't just stuff, it's independence, control. That quote, the ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, is priceless. That's the core of it.
That really is the highest dividend money pays, isn't it? Freedom. Being able to say no to a bad job or take time off or change course.
Precisely. Those are the real luxuries wealth buys, not just, another watch.
And those two paths, bragging versus freedom, you can't really max out both, can you?
No, they work against each other.
Yep.
Spending on status directly eats away at your future freedom fund.
Okay, so for listeners wanting that freedom, what are the key principles? Well, first off, Housel emphasizes the savings rate. Focus hard on that.
Yeah, it's huge. More important than income, even returns sometimes, because it's what you control most directly.
Got it. Savings rate first. What else?
Build a margin of safety. Saving just for the sake of saving, not for a specific goal, just cash buffer for the unexpected.
For resilience.
Exactly. It gives you room to breathe, to make choices, not be forced into bad spots. Autonomy.
Makes sense. And the last one, be reasonable, not coldly rational. This one's interesting.
Yeah, it means finding a plan you can actually stick with, not just the mathematically optimal one you'll abandon.
Like Housel paying off his mortgage early. Maybe not the highest return, but...
But it gave him peace of mind. And that emotional stability helped him stick to his overall plan long term. That's being reasonable.
Right. A good enough plan you follow is better than a perfect one you don't.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The big takeaway is understanding rich versus wealthy. One's visible, one's hidden freedom.
Watch out for those traps, status spending, lifestyle creep.
And remember the real goal, independence, control over your time. That's true wealth. It buys choices, not just things. So here's a final thought for you to mull over. If lifestyle creep often comes from looking at what others have, what if you consciously set your own benchmark for enough, one that doesn't move with the crowd? How might that change things for you?
Good question.
This week, maybe try defining what financial freedom specifically looks like for you. And then, take one small action towards it. Automate $25 into savings, maybe. Or just consciously decide not to buy something and save that cash instead.
Small steps build that freedom.
Exactly. Take control one choice at a time. Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today, really, is to take all these great ideas we talk about and forge them into something useful, a blueprint for your financial life.
Yeah, because we keep seeing that financial success, it's often, a soft skill. It's much more about your behavior than just knowing stuff.
Exactly. We talked about concepts like no one's crazy, luck and risk, how important finding enough is.
And that ultimate luxury, right? Control over our own time.
Mm-hmm. So today, we want to make it really personal. How do you design a plan that actually fits your personality, your fears, your own definition of a good life? Okay, so let's unpack this big myth first. This idea that there's one single right way to manage money. The financial world pushes that cold rationality all the time.
Right. And what's so fascinating, I think, is Morgan Housel's point. The goal isn't perfect rationality. It's just being pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable. Why, though? What's the distinction?
Well, think about it. A mathematically perfect plan, if you can't actually stick to it when you're feeling scared or greedy, that's worse, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's much worse than let's say, pretty reasonable plan that you can actually follow for decades.
Yeah.
Behavior trumps spreadsheets,
Yeah, it makes so much sense. And Housel has that great example, paying off his mortgage completely.
Oh, yeah.
Rationally, on paper, maybe a terrible financial decision because he missed out on market returns. How does he justify that?
Well, he calls it, and I love this phrase, the worst financial decision we've ever made, but the best money decision we've ever made.
Explain that.
It's about the psychological dividend. That peace of mind, the feeling of independence, knowing the house is theirs outright, that helps them sleep at night.
Ah, okay. So it connects back to no one's crazy. What helps you sleep at night? Your version of reasonable is shaped by your life.
Exactly. Your own unique experiences, maybe just a tiny slice of the world, they dictate like 80% of how you think things work. And that's okay for you.
So if there's no single template, how do you even start building your own? Where do you begin?
Well, you don't look outside, you look inside. You build your plan on your psychology. We can think about it in, say, 3 pillars.
Okay, 3 pillars. What's the first one?
Pillar 1 is about identifying your biases, acknowledging your own inner crazy, you could say.
Right. Radical self-honesty. Like, are you driven by comparing yourself to others? That man in the car paradox.
Yeah, or maybe you consistently underestimate luck's role or risk.
And these aren't like character flaws.
Not at all. It's just being human. Success comes from knowing your tendencies, your specific biases, and then building guardrails.
Guardrails.
Yeah, your financial plan becomes like a defense system. It protects you from your own impulsive, emotional, short-term self, like setting an alarm clock for future you.
Okay, got it. So know yourself. What's pillar 2?
Pillar 2, define your true north. What's the highest dividend money pays for you?
Right. What are you actually building towards? Housel's answer is control over your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that freedom. To do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for however long you want.
Which brings up that crucial question.
What is enough for you? Finding that is probably the most vital financial skill.
Because true wealth isn't what you spend. It's
hidden. It's the income you don't spend. That buys you options. It buys freedom. It's that gap, between your ego and your income.
That makes so much sense, especially when we're always told to chase more, more, more. Okay, pillar 3.
Pillar 3 is designing for survival. It's about humility and, honestly, a bit of healthy paranoia.
Because the world is unpredictable. Getting wealthy takes some risk.
But staying wealthy, that takes humility, frugality, and, paranoia about what could go wrong.
So survival is the key word here.
It's the single most important word for long-term success, I'd argue. Just stay in the game. That's the main thing. Let compounding do its work over time.
So you need that buffer.
Exactly. A margin of safety,
Right.
room for error, a financial shock absorber, because you have to avoid the risks that can wipe you out completely.
Right. Consistently not messing up is maybe more important than occasional genius moves.
Pretty much. It's about endurance.
And this plan, it's not something you just set and forget.
Definitely not. Your plan isn't static. We're all kind of terrible at predicting our future selves.
Yeah. Shoot.
So as your life changes jobs, family, what you value your plan has to evolve too. Avoid extremes. Aim for balance, adaptability.
Okay, so this has been great for understanding the mindset. What can people listening do, like today? Give us some actionable takeaways.
Okay, 2 things to start with.
Let's hear them.
First, write down My personal financial principles. Think of it like your personal financial constitution. Just 3 to 5 guiding rules based on your psychology, your values.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Going back to reasonable, rational, maybe you write, I'll keep 6 months of expenses in cash, even if it earns almost nothing. Because that feeling of security, that helps me sleep, and it's worth more to me than chasing every last bit of return.
Okay, that's really concrete. What's the second takeaway?
Second, start one small, consistent financial habit. Just pick one new thing this week. Something small, something you can stick with.
Like what?
Could be anything. Maybe automate a tiny investment like $25 a week. Or unsubscribe from 3 marketing emails that tempt you to buy stuff you don't need.
Small steps.
Yeah.
Consistent progress.
That's the key. Absolutely.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows that financial success,
Yeah.
it isn't about being the absolute smartest person in the room, is it?
No, not at all. It's more about humility, patience, and really knowing yourself. It's about defining victory on your own terms.
Yeah. And the ultimate goal isn't just hitting some big number. It's about building a life that has more freedom, more options.
Full peace of mind.
That ability to wake up and genuinely say, you know what? I could do whatever I want today.
That's real wealth.
So go out there and design a life that isn't just rich on paper, but truly wealthy in what matters most to you.
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.